Hey, what's up? This is Joe. I'm at the Smoky Mountain Bike Week in Maryville, Tennessee, and I wanted to make this video to show you how I installed a Tutoro automatic chain oiler on my NC750X. After lubing my motorcycle chain for about the millionth time coming across the plains this summer, I realized something was going to have to change. So I started looking into some automatic motorcycle chain oilers, and from all the research I did, this company, Tutoro, which is out of England, a lot of people seem to like these the best. This is one of the most minimally invasive chain oilers. A lot of other ones you have to tap into the vacuum line or hook it up to the battery. I've already got about 3 things stacked onto my battery terminals at the moment. Didn't really want to mess with anything else. I'm not exactly sure how the mechanism works, but it's entirely mechanical. It releases a little bit of oil onto the chain via a reservoir and a hose, and it oils the chain as the bike moves, sort of the up and down kind of movement. It sort of lets loose a little bit of that oil as the bike moves. So first things first, I'm going to take this beautiful beast over to the car wash. That way I've got a clean sort of a working area on my swing arm. So see you in a bit. Boom, and just like that, she's clean. Or at least, if not totally clean, relatively clean. This is the unboxing video. There's a little hose and nozzle. Couple of bottles. Yeah, he mentioned he threw a couple of different types of oil in there. One of these is more suited for hotter kind of temperatures. Plenty of zip ties. Nice zip ties. I guess a little extra bottle. There's the shark's fin, which will kind of go under the swing arm and direct the hose right onto the front of the sprocket. Here's the star of the show. This is the patented Tutoro oil reservoir. This is some of the hardware. Here's another little bracket, which I think is the bracket that I need to mount to my bike. This particular oiler is very particular about what type of oil you run through it. Some of them will run 80W90 gear oil. Not really recommended in this one, so I'll probably, at least for the time being, stick to the Tutoro proprietary oil. But apparently you can use like a mineral hydraulic oil. Couple of stickers. All right. Okay, this is the protector that goes over the reservoir. I think this goes, well, I shouldn't think anything. I should read the instructions first. So now let's figure out how to get this bad boy on the bike. So the first order of business on this is going to be to find a place to mount that reservoir. On this particular bike, there's an existing bolt hole right there. Hopefully the bolt is long enough that I can sort of get the mounting bracket on the back of this where it mounts onto that GV rack. Hopefully if I can get it right there, I'll have enough clearance that I can avoid hitting the top of the frame. Hopefully I'll have enough thread on this screw that this will be a workable solution. I think I probably will. It might end up taking some playing around to sort of figure out the right orientation of this bracket. As is, I could probably mount it right there. It's sort of a little bit close to that passenger foot peg. All right, so if I were a beautiful and very attractive female passenger, my feet would be sitting about like this. As is, with my feet on the passenger pegs, my toes are kicked out a little bit from the bike. So frankly, I don't think it'll be an issue either way. Looks like we're about to get some rain today, so I don't think I'll be taking this for a maiden voyage today. Instead of mounting this on the outside of that bracket, I think I'll just mount it that way, and gives me quite a bit more clearance from that passenger foot peg. I can still feel it easily in that position, so I think let's do that. That's an 8mm wrench on that one. From what I read in the instruction manual, you want this thing as vertical as possible, at the most 12 degrees off, but pretty much vertical. That is well enough out of the way that it shouldn't be a problem at all. And then the way this works is basically you sort of adjust this to control the rate of flow. And it varies a little bit depending on the temperature outside, but these things are rated for below freezing temperatures all the way up to like 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Another consideration that I just thought of when I was putting the bike back on the service stand is when I'm putting it on the center stand, I typically put my knee right there, which is pretty much where the reservoir was. So moving it back a little bit just kind of would ensure that my knee's out of the way. So now I got that thing cinched down. Actually, I got a level app, and it was not exactly level the way that I thought it was. So I'm going to take a quick break and cook some dinner, and then we'll see you in a bit. All right, so now I'm getting this shark's fin business kind of more or less situated as per the manual. There's a little piece of wire in the back end of this tube, which I guess sort of keeps it in the position that you put it in. And then this shark's fin on my bike is going to kind of mount underneath right there. And then I'm going to insert this little nozzle right there, which is going to rest right in the groove of that sprocket. And here comes the rain. Boy, it's nice to be in a garage for a change. All right, at this point, I'm just about getting her done on this Tutoro automatic oiler. It's pretty intuitive, but there are certain things that you don't want to mess up. For instance, you want to have a little bit of slack between where it connects to the swing arm and where it connects to the frame. Actually, I think on the center stand, that's probably as taut as this line is ever going to be. Because any other time it'll be on the side stand, I'll be sitting on it, and it'll be packed up. So that hose is actually going to compress a little bit, and I wanted to sort of get everything to where that hose is not going to interfere with the chain. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. I've already got it zip tied underneath the swing arm basically, and it kind of follows the swing arm and then comes out right there. I've been sort of going backwards and forwards with the tire, making sure that it's in a good place and not going to get moved around. They recommend leaving a gap between that nozzle, and there's a little piece of wire inside of there that just sort of gives you enough structural rigidity to point it in the right direction. And you don't want to leave any more than 1 inch. That's pretty much 25 millimeters right there, 1 inch. Pretty much I'm at the point that I'm about ready to connect this hose and fill up that reservoir and prime the unit. Just kind of double checking this with my surface level here. Looks like it is pretty much dead center. All right, that was a little bit of a tight squeeze getting it over that barb. I think that's up far enough. I was going to try to get it all the way up there flush, but that's about as far as I can force it. I've been sort of sitting here squeezing it and trying to warm it up just a little bit so it'll stretch out a little bit better, but I think that should be fine. It's well above the barb on that nozzle. So yeah, I think at this point I'm ready to go ahead and fill this reservoir up and prime the unit and see how it flows. So this particular kit came with this really cool stone shield, keep it from getting damaged by rocks and stuff like that. Those lines on the side, I should be able to see what my capacity is pretty easily. I got my the regular weight oil. It's an interesting blue color. There's a breather hole on here, which they recommended to have pointing away from the bike, away from the tire, basically, so it doesn't get clogged. Okay, so now's the interesting part. Now that I've got that reservoir filled, I'm going to grab this magnet that came with the kit place it on top of the reservoir. This opens the primary valve and gets the oil flowing through the hose all the way down to the nozzle. Okay, so this has got to be opened 4 turns counterclockwise first. And now it should be in priming position. Once it starts dripping out of that nozzle, I'll remove the magnet from the reservoir. We got drips. Okay, take that magnet off. Turn this all the way off. And so they want you to basically to start out with, give this a half a turn and then go back and tweak it either clockwise or counterclockwise and until you get the flow right. Obviously you want the chain nice and juicy looking, but you don't want oil all over your back tire. Pretty cool little deal. I'm hoping this will save me the pain in the ass of lubing my chain every day. Okay, so after about 20 minutes of riding, chain looks nice and juicy. I don't really see too much splash on the sidewall. I think it's pretty much dialed in. I mean, they said pretty much 68 degrees Fahrenheit, give it a half a turn. So I think it's right on the money. I'm hoping this oiler will make my life easier by not having to constantly lube my chain. From what I could tell, the components in the kit were of superb quality and the customer service at the company was top-notch. Whatever setting you use for the oiler seems to be highly dependent on the weather, as the viscosity of the oil increases or decreases with the outside temperature. My advice to anyone going this route is to take your time and read the instructions. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe. Also, be sure to head over to the Tutoro website if you're in the market for a kick-ass chain oiler. As many of you already know, I almost never endorse products on this channel, even though I get offers pretty much every day. In this case, I just got a really good vibe dealing with the company and wanted to do a nice install video. If you happen to be in Maryville, please stop by. I'll be outside the Harley shop until October 5th. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the road.